What up, though, y'all? It's Chris. Appreciate you connecting with me while I'm out here on the run, getting things done. And let's talk about women being careless. You know, it oftentimes really perplexes me how careless women move out here in the real world, in spite of the fact that women are far more vulnerable than men are. The way a lot of women move, not all, I got to make sure I say that, because there's going to be some woman in the comments that's going to say, I would never do that. I see you, sis. Okay, I get it. You would never do that. So this isn't about you. But I just see women all the time just moving so carelessly. They move in a very dangerous fashion, exposing themselves to dangerous elements that they really don't have to. In this case, it's a woman. I saw a sister. She drove 4 hours to see a man. So she met this guy on a dating app. They was, seemingly connecting very well. They moved off the app, had been communicating for about a week. All right. Now, mind you, she lives 4 hours away. After about a week of what she believed to be good communication, she decides to surprise him by driving to Houston. This is where he lived at, to visit him. Now, one, I think this is a bad idea out the gate before I even finish hearing all of it. You're surprising a guy from a dating app who lives 4 hours away. That just sounds like all types of things could go wrong. However, she doesn't see anything wrong with this. Where are her friends at? Where's her mom at? Where's her daddy at? Why was there nobody in her life that would tell her, hey, this probably isn't a good idea? But regardless, strong and independent prevails. She goes anyway. About an hour away, she calls him to let him know that she about to pull up on him. All right, she about to be in the city in an hour. He's excited about this. So it doesn't seem like there's any deception of any sort on his part. He's happy to be able to see her. She wants to get a hotel. He says, you don't have to get a hotel. You can stay with me. She doesn't want to stay with him. She wants to get a hotel room because she doesn't know him. Now, what the hell, man? You don't want to stay with this guy in his house because you don't know him. Right? Okay, that's fair. You don't know him, so you don't want to stay with him. However, you don't know him and you drove 4 hours to see him. So that's just kind of odd to me. And I would imagine that you guys are gonna be intimate. You guys are gonna have relations while you're there, because you didn't drive 4 hours to be approved. You didn't drive 4 hours not to put out. So I would imagine that during the time you're there, you're expecting to get your back blown out. So he's too much of a stranger to stay with, but not too much of a stranger to give your body to. And not too much of a stranger to drive 4 hours to give your body to him. This is the thing that I be talking about, man. This is how a lot of you ladies out here be ending up on the evening news, moving goofy like this. You drove 4 hours to see a guy you met on a dating app. I mean, that's all types of crazy as it is. You folks in H-Town, I love y'all, but I've seen the numbers recently. You guys are at the top of the list. It goes back and forth between you and Atlanta, which is another city that I really like. But you guys go back and forth in terms of new HIV cases. So pulling up on somebody randomly who lives in Houston, that just really seems reckless to me. So she continues on trying to find a hotel room. She's not successful in doing so. She calls him, letting him know she's been trying for a while to find a hotel. It's been unsuccessful. She says he gets mad and starts yelling at her, saying how he can't believe that she jumped on the road. I'm paraphrasing a little bit. Jumped on the road driving to see him and didn't have a plan in place. I mean, is he wrong? She feels like he got more mad than what the conversation calls for. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. We don't know what all was said on the phone. But what I will say is this. I don't think he was wrong in telling her how silly it was that she just jumped on the road like this with no plan. That's just giving all types of weird vibes. It's giving all types of desperation vibes. You can never be this careless and this desperate to where you expose yourself to this sort of danger. And I seen people in the comments asking, well, why didn't he drive to see her? Apparently his vehicle was in the shop. Perhaps it was. You know, I'm a regular at my mechanic, man. Any little thing, I'm over there at my mechanic like, look, I need you to swap this out. I need you to adjust this, whatever. So I can't even say that was a lie. He just ain't want to go see her because I'm a regular at my mechanic. But let's say his vehicle is in the shop. What if it weren't? All right. What if he did drive to go see her? Does he have to drive to her town and then get a hotel after he drove 4 hours? Because see, the offering her to stay with him, I'm thinking he's just trying to be courteous due to the fact that she drove 4 hours. It's kind of bold that somebody drove 4 hours and you're not willing to open your home up to them. So I'm thinking if this situation were reversed, would she be expecting him to stay in a hotel? I mean, she ended up staying in a hotel. She, according to her, was quote unquote turned off by his reaction to her foolery, to her immaturity. I mean, I'm sure he was turned off too. She ends up getting a hotel room. It cost her $350. She turned it into a whole solo dolo trip. Paid $350, pampered herself, as she put it, and then ended up doing the 4 hours to head back. So she did 8 hours of driving, spent $350 on a hotel, spent however much on food while she was there, because you know you got to eat, even if it's just getting cheap eats or whatever, you got to eat. So that's extra cost. She spent however much money on gas that she did, ultimately to not even link up with the guy and go home with nothing to show for it. Just silly as hell. I will say this, there's one silver lining here, and that's that she didn't get hurt. Her reckless behavior at the very least didn't result in her getting hurt. So I'll leave it there. Hit me with a like if you like what I do. Hit me with a sub if you like what I do. Hit me in them comments. I'll holler at y'all soon. Peace.